So we come from a ministry up in Lawrenceville called Gate City Lawrenceville. Before it was Gate City Lawrenceville, it was IHOP, not International House of Pancakes, but International House of Prayer. And we were right there on Collins Hill Road in Lawrenceville, right down the road from Georgia Gwinnett College and right by Collins Hill High School. And I believe it was, I texted with him, I need to go back and reference it, but I think it was 2016, so maybe 11 or 12 years ago. These 3 high school guys came into our 24/7 prayer room, and they came in the middle of the night. And I was on our night watch, Andrew was on our night watch, Hannah was on our night watch, and there was another guy named Jamie who was on our night watch. He was leading our night watch at the time. And these guys, quote, came in because they, quote, wanted to see the cult. Because they had driven by in front of the church and they'd seen that there were cars out there like 24/7, because we had a 24/7 prayer room that we staffed. And so they were like, it is so weird that there are cars there. They would like go out and, do drugs and drink and just do all this stuff like high school, kind of rowdy high school boys do. And they were driving by our church and they were just overcome with this curiosity to literally, in their words, go see the cult. So I remember them coming into the lobby, like, are we allowed to be here? Like, and they would joke with us. We were like wondering if were you guys sacrificing pets? Like what's going on in this building where there are always cars out front? And Jamie, who was the leader at the time, he strikes up a conversation with these guys and we all begin to build relationship, and they just start coming back regularly. Like on the weekends they'd come back and they'd spend time hanging out with Jamie, and Jamie has a great personality, great storyteller, and Jamie has stories of like literally encounters with angels and supernatural healings, and we would all share the different God stories that we had. We weren't necessarily preaching apologetics to them. And each of them were either atheist or agnostic. They either had determined that God was not real or they were unsure and had very little church background. But these 3 guys came back regularly and we sowed seeds into their lives. And when I was texting with Jose, who I'm going to continue his story here in a moment, but I was texting with him this week, he told me the stories of supernatural things were one of the things that kept him coming back because it made him so curious and fascinated concerning the things of God. And so just the testimonies. He wasn't like, it was the amazing Bible teaching. He was like, it was the stories of what we had seen God do. And I've heard him say before, like, I knew you guys weren't crazy. I knew you weren't liars. So he goes, I had to reconcile that you had these experiences with God that I couldn't easily dismiss. And how many of you know, if you spend enough time with people that have the stories of God that can't be easily dismissed, sometimes you start to experience those things yourself.